Hello and welcome to my chess science lab. Okay, so today I have a very important topic for all of you. So today we are going to discuss about one of the greatest personality in India from India. Okay, so it was Chanakya. Okay, let me give you an example about Chandragupta Maurya's success. Okay, I don't know how many of you know about the great emperor called Chandragupta Maurya. He was a great warrior. Okay, and he has won a lot of battles. And I can compare his greatness with Alexander the Great. Okay, maybe Alexander the Great is famous worldwide. He has won so many battles. But Chandragupta Maurya is also not so inferior. Okay, he has also won great battles. Okay, but the only difference is he never tried to expand his territory. Okay, whereas you can see uh, Alexander the Great always tried to expand the territory. Okay, Chandragupta Maurya defended his territory. Okay, that is the thing with Chandragupta Maurya. So you can take it like this. Okay, for instance, like let's say Alexander the Great has written an exam which is for 100 marks and he has scored 100. Okay, and Chandragupta Maurya has written an exam for 50 marks, he has scored 50. So the thing is, both of them were actually good. Okay, and Chanakya's instruction is what made Chandragupta Maurya more and more powerful. Okay, because Chanakya is a very wise person and he has a lot of wisdom. Okay, and most of the time, okay, you see, Chanakya always comes up with a lot of innovative ideas. Okay, and he was the greatest war strategist, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, so Chanakya has given so many ideas in the war. Okay, like let's say you might ask a question like, how come Chanakya's war strategies will work on chess today? Okay, in today modern chess. Okay, let me give you an example. In those days, a war before it happens, let's say there's a time frame of 2 weeks or 1 month. You know what happens? They analyze the alignments, which soldier should stand in which position, and how to align the army. All this planning will be there. And chess itself is a postmortem analysis of the future event, like how we are going to win the war. So that's how chess evolved. So basically, war strategies will definitely work in chess. Okay, because chess is made for war. Okay, if you understand this, you're going to get more stronger. Okay, and I want to show you some eight strong ideas. Okay, these eight strong ideas can change your life completely. Okay, so you have to observe this. Okay, uh, very strong ideas. You can take it as an advice from Chanakya. Okay, this is going to be very useful for you in your life also. Okay, first thing is that you need to know your enemy. Okay, this is Chanakya's advice. So how can you like apply this in chess? Okay, in chess, enemy we can take it in the sense as opponent. Okay, so basically you need to have an idea about their game style, their strength, their weakness, everything. Okay, everything you need to have a clear idea. Okay, let's say your opponent is very strong in tactics and his tournament performance is good. All this is probability. Okay, probability. Like, probability is like something which happens most of the time. Okay, and possibility is that which doesn't happen most of the time, but it is possible. It can happen. And if it happens, it is going to be more strong. Okay, so let me give you an example. You should never like underestimate your opponent. This thing you should know in life and chess. Okay, because there is nothing called one side game or one side event. Chess is a war. If a competitor has come to combat, it's a war. Okay, there's nothing called one side event or one side game. The thing is, you can say it is one side event or one side game. Only your opponent does not have any pieces. He has only the pawns and the king, and you have all the pieces. Then you can say it's one side pieces. I mean, one side game. Okay, otherwise, we cannot tell it's a one sided game. Okay, even Bobby Fischer also made a flaw here. What he did when he was at peak, he just mentioned something like about the women players. Like he said, I can beat the best women players even if I'm knight down. Okay, and Michael Tal gave one very good example to. Michael Tal commented on Bobby Fischer's flaw. He said, like, Fischer is Fischer. There is no doubt about it. That means Fischer is great. His greatness is spoken all over the world. That is true. Fischer is great. That's okay. But knight is knight. Okay. So that means knight has power. So if Fischer tries to play that, the probability is not probability. Possibility is Fischer is going to lose. Possibility plus probability. Both are unfavorable to Fischer. Okay. Because knight is knight. Okay. Okay. So you need to know the opponent's strength. And the second point you need to observe is choose the right battlefield. Okay, so let's say you're very strong in positional play. That means you have to like choose your openings based on the positional play. You should develop such kind of play. Let's say you're a very strong tactician, then you should choose tactical openings. Okay, with more open lines, and your pieces should come out very quickly. Pawns should get exchanged, and your pieces should come very quickly. Let's say you're a very strong tactician, and you play a positional line where there is no chances for tactics. There is only maneuvers, and trying to find tactics there, it's hopeless. Okay, so you have to like plan what is your style, analyze your style. Okay, and then choose which style suits your play, and then focus on that and then improve. Okay, so if you work on these areas, you can get more stronger in chess. And third one, okay, create a strong foundation. Okay, you should have a very strong foundation in chess. Let's say you're trying to make a very strong attack, but you have to check your foundation. Is your king safety and piece mobility strong? Is your center strong? And many factors are there. You have to analyze all of them, and only then you can consider a strong attack. Okay, otherwise it could simply backfire. Okay, this is one thing. And the fourth point, attack weak points. Okay, so this is very instructive. Even in war in ancient India, those times they focused on weak points. This is the topic which I'm going to specifically show you today. Okay, so attack weak points. So attack weak points. How to find weak points? If you're not able to find weak points, then analyze your strong points. If you're stronger in certain areas over the board, that means your opponent is obviously going to be weak in that areas. So search for stronger control over the board. Like you have more pieces on one side and your opponent is not having much forces there. That means your opponent is weaker in that area. So that is one way to figure out the weakness quickly, and we will see that. And the fifth point is create uncertainty. Okay, let's say you're playing with a very strong player who knows a lot of opening theories, and you have no idea in that particular opening. And he has a lot of analysis. Earlier, he has done so many analysis. Okay, and if you directly play, the probability is he is going to make all the best moves. Okay, and you might get into some trap, or maybe you might find yourself in time pressure. Okay, so you might not be able to play well. So create an uncertainty. Like take the game into a simple opening line or something which nobody has played before, and the chances are 50-50. Okay, take to such kind of thing. It creates uncertainty for you also, for your opponent also, but there you have to be more smarter. Okay, so and you can use your skills to win. Okay, this is one important idea. Okay, now the sixth point is exploit your opponent emotions. Emotions means it's not like you're not going to irritate your opponent by doing all the stuffs. It's like find out whether your opponent is fearful or greedy, and then take advantage of those weakness. Let's say if your opponent is struggling in positional play and he doesn't like the position, okay, and he offers you a draw, and you can feel he is not so comfortable there, right? So what you do is you take a chance. You decline the draw, take a chance. So in the couple of moves, you can induce an error from him, and he might make some mistakes, and that could be the turning point. And it has happened historically many times. Okay. And also, if your opponent is so greedy in taking the materials, in crucial point, calculate a move and make a sacrifice, perfect sacrifice, or a very tricky sacrifice where he has chances to go wrong, and you have a very good position, then go for it. Okay, because you also have to give some chances for your opponent to go wrong. This is also very important in chess. Okay, this I hope you understand. Okay, seventh point is stay flexible. You always come up with a plan and an idea, and that fails, it didn't work. So don't stick to that always. Change your plan. The position might change. Okay, what you expect might not happen. The position might change, take a diversion, and it could get into new possibilities. And you need to adapt to those new possibility and adjust your play and play accordingly. That is how you progress. You have the skill, you are going to progress. Sooner or later, you are going to progress, and your progress is going to be more stronger. Okay. Finally, the eighth advice you can say is like you have a lot of skills, but still you lose in chess. What do? Learn from your mistakes. Relax, go home, take rest, then think about where you went wrong and come up with a new idea and appear to the tournament even more stronger. So these are the things you need to focus. Okay, these ideas you can learn from Chanakya. Okay, okay. Now let me just give you an example. We are going to chess now. Okay, so this example I will show you how to think. Okay, because in my science lab, as I mentioned, you can always learn something very instructive. Okay, because science is very important in our life. Okay, science, through science we can reach a lot of height. Okay, because through science and technology the world has developed. Okay, so in chess also there is science. Okay, you should know the science, how it works. Okay, so I have made some observation and I'm going to show you a few important ideas here. Okay, let's say we have a position like this and it's white to play. So a lot of players, what they do here is obviously they would take the g4 knight, right? Obviously they would capture. They are like, first let me take this, then I will analyze. I'm not really bothered about anything else. Let me just take this. And let's say they go, and these are the trained players, how they analyze this. Trained players always analyze this. Okay, the queen is defending the g7 and my queen is attacking the g7. What can I do? Oh, I have a chance to give a discovery attack and this knight is hanging. Okay, and then they come up with something like bishop d2. Okay, this happens. Okay, and when they play something like queen f6, they would obviously take, and then the game goes on. Okay, okay. Now let me show you some war strategies. Okay, this is like what I'm showing is the probability. Right now, what you're seeing is the probability. This is something which happens most of the time. Most of the time, most of the players, very strong players, you ask them, they will come up with this line. Okay, but you should not ignore the possibility. As I told you, if you are aware of the possibility and you know the probability, that means you are living in reality. Okay, when you are in reality, you are going to win because you are aware of everything in chess. Okay, so now I'll show you the possibility. The possibility is you're going to make something which is not so common, but still it works. Okay, now coming back to Chanakya's war strategy. Okay, let's say one of your pawn invaded into the opponent territory. Okay, that means you have a strong point there. So some areas in the war, like let's say the e6 is conquered, somehow it's conquered. That means they are getting weaker in that area. So what happens is the more forces will join the attack on that particular point. You have to focus and bring more forces to that particular point. Let's say e6. Okay, I'm going to show you a beautiful triangle. Okay, let's say e6, there is some pawn power. Okay, there's a pawn power on e6. From there we form a triangle like this. You can form a triangle like this. Like this you can form, or maybe like this. This is more easier. Take this squares and connect. This is a triangle. Okay, so you try to get the pieces within the triangle. Example, the king, and your queen has to match because you have power in that territory. So your imagination is you should match here. This is science, okay? So how you match that? So you see perfection in coordination. So the right way to go is knight to f8 because we are going to match the queen there. So knight f8, they take. We have a power there. Queen to g4, and then the king has to go to f7, and here we go. queen to e6. That's a perfect match, isn't it? Okay, so see how it works. So try to match there. Okay, okay, and let me just show you. So this is how it works. Okay, war, like how you can learn is you learn strong chess. You are good in probability, but someday somebody is beating a very strong player. A low rated player beats a very strong high rated player. Observe that game, because that is where you will see new possibility. You will discover new possibility and learn that possibility, because beating a player who has a high probability, let's say a player who's having a probability to win is 80 and the other player has 40, but still the player with 40% wins the 80. Okay, that means, I mean, 80 versus 20. What am I talking? Okay, so 80 versus 20 means the player who is winning with the 20% means he is having some possibility. Okay, and he would have used some possibility, and that is something very new. Okay, and you should know that. Okay, so here you see 80% they will play queen g4. Queen g4 80%. Okay, or maybe 90 or 95%. But remaining 5% players will know this. And if they play knight f8, pay attention to this. And you will know the signs better. This is a possibility. You see? Takes, which doesn't happen commonly, but it happens and it is very powerful. Okay. Okay. Now going to example 2. Okay. I'm going to show you another example. Okay, now I hope you are aware of the probability as well as the possibility. Now let's say this is a war. Okay, chess is a war and we have a pawn on e5. Now let's speak science, discuss about science. Okay, so this pawn has power there, which is very crucial. Okay, and let's analyze a triangle. So I would say I would form a triangle like this. I would say a triangle. I would say this is a triangle. Okay, this is one way to go. And okay, so I need to match the queen something like this and get the king inside this triangle. I need to get the king inside this triangle. I mean, here, inside this triangle. And then I can win. So how do I do that? Think about it. So you get an idea. So this is how ideas will come to you. How to match the queen to d6. Not so easy, right? So first what I do, I just open the line. So knight e6, sacrifice. Okay, so he has to take, and then I take my rook to f8. So he has to block. Then I need to match. This way is very clear. How do I connect it? I do connect it like this. Right, you can form a long triangle also. Okay, queen check, and the king has to go here. I think I remember they call it as e-plot mate, a-plot mate. I'm not really sure, a-plot mate or something like this when these kind of positions is there. But we can come to triangle mate. Okay, this is very amazing. You see, pawn power. So we match here, and then it's over. This is science. Okay, so you see, finding the areas where you are strong. You are strong here on d6 is a strong point. Okay, then strong point when the forces are getting weakened in the war, and major forces has to get there and then destroy that point. Okay, this is war strategy. Okay, so one side becomes weakened, you will keep on adding more and more and more force and get there and attack there and conquer that area. Once that area is conquered, the flag will be kept there. So this is in war. Okay, so that works even today also in chess. Okay, so you have to observe, analyze and learn and get more stronger. Okay, let me just show you a couple of examples related to that. One second. Okay, we have a situation like this. Now you would by now you will already have an idea here. You will come to a conclusion that there's a pawn here. Okay, so and you have to match the queen, and this should be the triangle. How to get the king to that triangle? It's not so easy. Yeah, so if you play here, they would block, right? Okay, but how to get the king there? One nice idea would be you get the queen there. Just imagination. Okay, there is a rook, but let's come to the planning. Okay, for now, let's forget about the rook. If this is a scenario, and if they take on c7, now you can match here. It forms a beautiful triangle, and then it's over. Okay, but the problem is the rook is there, right? So as long as the rook is there, we won't be able to make this possible. I mean, we won't be able to get there. So we have to find a way how to get the queen there. So get rid of the rook. That gives you an idea. Bishop g5, not difficult to spot, but you should know this idea. Okay, once you know the main plan, you will be able to come up with very strong ideas. Okay, this is science. Okay, so they take on g5, and then we go queen f8. And he has no much options. See, king d7 doesn't help. Okay, king d7. So we can just go here because the knight has a great control over the e8 square. And if they take king takes, you can go queen d6, too strong. So you can see like these are very strong ideas. Okay. So this is how it works. Okay, you need to pay attention to this. And I'm going to show even more examples. Okay. So learn. Observe, analyze, learn. Okay, you have a pawn here. So now you know your pawn has a great control over the opponent's camp. So invaded. Okay, so that means this is a weak point. So you should try to match something like this. To match, imagine a triangle. Okay, this is one probability. Also, this is also a triangle. So you have to match like this. Okay, and you have to see which is the best possible move. Okay, so my imagination should be I should get the king something like c7, and then my queen has to come here. Then there's a perfection. How do I perfect it? So let me start driving the king. So I go queen to g8, check, and then the king goes to e7. I give an attack here. Okay, so my aim is I want to get the queen there and here. I need to connect it here. Okay, so the king has to go to e8, and then we can go bishop to g6 because all I need is this square, right? So they go there, and I go queen to f8, check, and after king c7, I have queen d6. Wow, that's a nice mate. You see the ideas. Okay, there are a lot of ideas to be discussed. Okay, and I've developed a lot of ideas recently, and Chanakya wisdom like I follow, and I'm getting more and more ideas. I also like developed something called Trinity. Okay, but that's a different story. But you can observe this, the triangle and the other patterns. Okay, okay. So this is one way to go. Okay, one last example. Okay, here you see they announced a mate in one. Okay, so we have to do something. Okay, whenever you see the pawn here, the probability says push. Why the probability says push? Because passed pawn must be pushed. This is what happening most of the time. Passed pawn must be pushed. Okay, so if you look at in this point of view, you will be always only looking this idea. But possibility, as I told you, you can see another idea. Try to match. You have power there. Try to get your queen there. So that forms a beautiful triangle. Should form a triangle, even though it's a small triangle, but still it works. Right. So get the queen there. Imagine how to get there. Because normally if you play push, it's going to be bad. They take because they announced a maiden one, right? And they will coolly escape here, and we won't be able to fight here. There's no way. It's completely hopeless. So what I do is, I just analyze the mobility. Well, the king has some squares there, and this rook is pinned, right? If it moves, I'm going to take that. So let me go bishop to g4, and they have to block it, and then I capture, they capture, and I need to find a way to connect there. That would form a beautiful triangle, right? So what I do, I go queen to h8, check, and then they have to play king c7, and then you can go queen to d8, and a beautiful triangle, you see. So it's science once again. Okay, so a lot of ideas are there based on science. You need to observe, and anybody who analyzes more and more can become a scientist in chess. It is possible. Okay, so so I hope you enjoy watching my lessons. We can come up with more instructive lessons in the upcoming videos. If you really like this, you can give like and you can subscribe, so that will motivate me to make even more videos in the future. Anyway, I'm going to make more videos even if you don't give subscribe or like. Okay, it's my duty to promote chess and to give some instructive ideas for all of you who wants to learn. Okay, so have a great day. Thank you.